Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm going to attempt to fly the Sabre. Do I want to change the skin? Yes I do. I'm going to fly an Australian skin. Today is April the 25th, 2021. It's Anzac Day. I'm going to fly a Sabre in RAF colours. If I can remember how to bring up the skins. How the heck do I do that? Here we go. It's been so long since I've flown in DCS, I've just updated it twice in a row and it's all updated. Seems to all be working. But I've got to remember all the buttons, you know. Do I want to take any fuel with me? Or any rockets? Nah. Do I want rockets? Yeah, I guess I'll go rockets. That'll do us. The problem with this server, it is a problem, is that when you do a track replay, you save a track. Just say you save the track from a multiplayer session on this server, or any server I think on DCS, and when you replay the track it will not let you look at external views, which is a freaking problem if you're trying to make a cinematic video. It's been like that for years now. I don't know why they don't fix it. Multiplayer track replays need external views. Anyways, I'm gonna chill on that. Alright, but I can't show you the exterior of the plane because there's no external view. Not even in multiplayer track replay. Anyways, let's crack on. Guys, I ain't flown this plane in months, so gonna be a bit rusty. The Sabre is all loaded up. I was gonna follow him, but then I'm thinking I'll just reference the airfield diagram and figure out where I am. I'm down here at Kutaisi. I must be here somewhere. I guess you can't lose if you turn left or right. And then you find this or this, and then you're good. Where could I be? Perhaps here? Hey, there's a track marking. Why is that? Crazy. Am I here? I don't know. I'm going to turn left. Yeah, the Sabre's going that way. Bloody hell, the flaps didn't go up when I used the flaps on the joystick. Don't tell me that the update scrubbed my key binding, surely not. Hey, it scrubbed them. So my flat buttons on the keyboard, on the joystick now do something for the air brake. Was that what I had them set to? Surely not. I had that for flaps. Where did I have air brakes? Ah, frickin' hell, DCS. Every single thing that I had set up that I'd be able to remember is now scrubbed. Great. Do the guns even work? Okay, the guns work. That's something. Maybe I did, hang on, maybe I did set the flaps for this plane something different, and I set the... Let me shut the power down a bit. Don't want to burn the engine out. I'm supposed to go 330 degrees. No, I think I'm jumping the gun here a bit. Sorry, DCS. Because the trim still works. I'd set the trim to this and it still works, so... I reckon I must have... maybe I just forgot. I reckon I've set... What I usually... The button on the joystick... The two buttons on the joystick that I usually use for flaps... on other planes and that, I've got it on this plane set to the air brake. That's not a bad thing. That's the sort of thing I'd do. Maybe I did do it. But then, where are the flaps? Where are flaps? I'm looking at the joystick thinking, I bet you I set the flaps on there somewhere, but I can't remember where. All I know is I took off and I was looking at the flap lever going, why aren't you moving? As I was... Alright, why don't I just try something here? Alright, there's something on the joystick that turns all the freaking guns off. Bloody hell. Whoa, what was that? Something happened there. Nah. What about the eject button? I think I set the flaps to eject. I better if I deploy the flaps at too high a speed, it's going to screw them up though. What's my speed? It's plenty low. Alright, let's try the eject button. Apologies if I eject. Nope, that didn't do nothing. What about the start button? Nope, that didn't do nothing. Well, I've used up all the buttons on the joystick, except for mode. I'm not going to mess with that, it's too complicated. What about F on the keyboard? Surely. Sorry guys, this is intensely boring. I just got to figure out where my freaking flaps are. Or else I'll have to do the whole mouse clicky thing to deploy flaps. Alright, I'm going to press F. Yeah! Alright, that's easy. Alright, so you just toggle the flaps with F. I can live with that. Whose airfield is that? I've got no airspeed right now. Alright, let's go 330. It's probably that way. Where's the compass? There's a bunch of MiG-21s on here. There's a bunch of A-10s, I think, and there's a few SU25 Frogfoots, the Soviet ground attack jet. And there's one other F86, and then there's me in this F86. So I'm probably going to get shot down by a MiG-21, but I'll try not to. It's a long way to the target area, so initially I'm going to fly quite high, and then as I get there I'm going to go towards the deck to avoid getting picked up on radar. That's the plan anyway. Alright, so I just want to reiterate, it seems like after those 2 updates, they did an update and then I went to play and it said there's another update, so I did the other update. And I just want to reiterate that all of my key bindings that I've previously had, they seem to all be intact, none of them's changed or anything. So it's all good. Now I just got to find something to shoot down. Guns are working, I tested that, and I've got, oh yeah, that's, hang on, I had something here that selects missile, and I think I remember I was saying the guns weren't working, but I didn't get a missile turn. Hang on, where's the missile turn? Don't have a missile tone. That means that I don't have missiles. There's no missiles. Heck, man. You saw me select missiles, right? Hey, is that a SAM? Is that a SAM? Going west. I want to go 330. Alright, it looks like I don't have missiles. I'm going to try something here. I probably started rolling the wheels before the missiles had been put onto the plane. I'm going to fire. And no missile. Alright, no worries. I don't want missiles anyway. Test the guns? Yes. Unless there's no missiles allowed and it's only guns, but on the server they might have changed the rules, but I doubt it. What is that? Tally ho. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Looks like DCS. Yep. Mark 0.9 now. I'm going to reduce engine power down to about 85%. There's a big lake there, and there's a river, huge river, that seems to go out to the sea. And there's a SAM over there. No, there's, what is there? I'm either seeing aircraft or ships over there. I think I can see is it a ship or a chopper? Let's fly straight to it. It's just on the river there, on the coast. There's something out there. Usually when you see an object this far away, you think, oh goody, it's a plane. But you get closer and it's a giant ship, but it's just really far away. I can see a splash in the water there. I reckon there's something going on there. Let's get onto the deck soon, so that when I get there, less chance of... that's no ship. Those are planes. They're not on the deck though. They're at my altitude, so I might have to stay at this altitude. I'll get him into a dogfight and I'll use the air brakes and I'll out-turn him and I'll shoot him. That's if they don't hit me with a missile from 15 miles away. That guy's using guns. got a kill. These will be MiG-21s and F5s as well. F5 Tiger or whatever. Everyone's faster than me. I think the main trick in this game is just to keep an eye on one thing. Like, don't lose sight of it. But hey, obviously I've got that one there. That was the original one that I was looking at, and then there's one off to my left. I'm going to go for this one, and then I'll go for the one on, when I say left I mean right, I'll go for the one on the right next. What could this be? Power up a bit now. Heck, where is he? Did I lose him in those few crucial seconds? There he is. No, that's flak, isn't it? No, that's a plane. To me, that looks like an F5 or a MiG-21. Guys, chances are I'm going to get shot by a missile from a 21 or a SAM or whatever. What could that be? He's spewing out some bloody stuff there, isn't he? Is he coming towards me? Armoured plane is the, I don't know, 1960s equivalent of an IL-2. So, and my shooting's not the best in this one just now, but that's not the point. The point is that he's a pretty hefty plane. Surprised that I haven't been shot down yet by a MiG-21. What? I think what happened there probably is a, a MiG-21 probably shot a missile at me and hit the SU-25 instead, and then shot another missile and hit me with the second missile. Probably hit the SU-25 because it has two jet engines and they would have been both at full power, whereas my engine might have, I've got one engine and it might have been at idle, producing less heat, and so the first missile went for the SU instead of myself. That's what I reckon happened just then. Yeah, you got to wait until the ground crew tells you, or you can look at the wings and get confirmation by seeing the ordnance plonk onto the wing, and the wing shows it. Can be hard to see though. $10 versus 16. I'm up against two Mi-8 choppers, another Mi-8, a MiG-15. That's good. MiG-21s. MiG-21. SU-25 times 3. That's good. 21s are a bit out of my league, really. I've shot them down before heaps, but they're different technology. They're later technology than an F86. F86 is basically World War II technology, so it's not suited to the MiG-21, or even the MiG-19 is not really suited to it. MiG-15 is perfect. There's only, oh heck, we got two now. Excellent. Oh well, let's go. I think I just heard a missile go onto the wing. Nope. Nope. Yeah, they really need external views in the track replay. I mean, especially in the era of YouTube, like, they're missing out. I don't know if it's a tick box setting that the server administrator needs to tick or untick, or if it's something that needs to be looked at by the devs to improve it in that area. I don't know, because I don't run a server. But man, this server and I think many others really need external views for replays, for track replays. Hey, deja vu! I've got the two vegans or grippins or whatever they are just there. Am I ready to go? Flaps down, guns are on. What about? There's no missile. There's no missile. Oh, I don't care. I'm going. I think it must be a server setting. Reason why I always look back at the flaps is because if you just take off and keep a shallow takeoff angle, your speed picks up quickly, and then later on if you try and, like I'm talking 5-10 seconds later, you try and lift the flaps, guess what, they're jammed in the down position because you've exceeded the airspeed that they can handle, and then they don't operate. So I always look back at the flaps to make sure they're up. I should probably actually just nah, you gotta, unless there's you can look at the lever, but the lever doesn't tell you, unless there's a light or a gauge or something that says yes, the flaps are up. Otherwise you don't know. Point is, that lever can be in the up position, but the flaps can still be down. You gotta check them. To me, on this compass, 300 degrees and 30 degrees look similar. They're either side of north. Alright, that's better. Guns, good. What I do if I was in the SU25 to defeat an F86? Well, I'd just wait until the F86 ran out of ammo. Can't outrun, you can't outturn, but you do have plenty of power, so I'd probably try a slow flying competition and then try and get a shot with my guns on the F86 by making it fly past. The coast should be appearing on our left hand side pretty soon, because I'm flying basically north up the coast. It tells me there were choppers in that same location where the combat took place. Pretty sure I saw a chopper there, but it was so far away I wasn't able to confirm it. Must conserve fuel. And I reckon I set one of these buttons for the gyro sight. Yeah, I did. It's on a toggle switch. That could be interesting. But you're not supposed to use it in combat, because the gyroscope cannot handle it apparently. Only for kind of gentle, probably be worthwhile for, I don't know what. the big river and there's the big lake. I'm heading here. From here up this way. Here I am, just here. And I'm going here, I guess. Yeah, just here. That's a serious river right there. F86 is one of my favourite planes, so it's good to have an opportunity to fly it. Guns are on. Yes, guns are on. What about these? I wish the cockpit light could be brighter somehow. Gotta forewarn you guys, most probable outcome is I'll get hit by a missile from a MiG-21. That's based on my experience, but obviously I couldn't load missiles, so possibly the 21s can't load missiles either. If that's the case, it's more of an even playing field. Happy Anzac Day. Yeah, you too, man. Like I said, most likely outcome, again, I haven't played on this in about a month or something, but most likely outcome is I'll just get hit out of the blue by a missile, either from a plane or a SAM. That's a SAM right there at that airfield, and it's coming right at me. Or it's going at the plane over there. I should really turn right now. I want to see where the missile goes. I think that's 2 missiles, and I think they're fired at me. And I'm not really digging that. They've run out of steam though. Are they going to get here? Ah, shit. Ah, shit. They got here. That's so stupid. That wrecks the gameplay. Should I do another flight? I'm going to do one more flight, but man, that was so dumb. Check that out. There's another Sabre in front of us. Nice. Put your air brakes in. What the heck? Ah, it's my canopy. Hey. Yo. Yo, yo. Ah. Oh, I love my Ray-Bans. Ah. Ah. Ah, put in your air brakes. Thing is, not many people know how to fly the Sabre or the MiG-15. Got his strobes on. I'm going to just move my air brakes in and out. They might not be actually working yet because the startup sequence needs to run for a bit before they work. So they're out. Now put them in. And that guy, if I have done that, that guy will be like, ah, he's got air brakes. What about me? You can't actually see your air brakes, so you have to just look at this thing here. Out, in. Alright, that's probably going to do it. No missiles, I don't think. Ah! F10 menu. Yeah, that gets tricky because like F10 is my track IR reset button. It's like the default button for track IR to set the perspective. So whatever my F10 menu is bound to. I use the backslash or whatever to access the menu for rearm and refuel usually, but people talk about the F10 menu. I assume it's the same thing, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that one. Yeah. What is that? There's a plane up there. All of those smokestacks down there billowing steam, they all look like SAM launchers. I really hate SAM launchers. They just wreck everything. I've been shot down by SAMs more than I've been shot down by MiG-21s. Oh, hey. Look how many planes there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you kidding me? It's like 8 planes there. And I see a missile firing, unless someone's billowing smoke. Picking up engine power a bit. I'm at Mark point 8, I should get to Mark point 9. So I don't lose them. These aren't necessarily slow planes that I'm chasing. Look at that. There was one on my left, I can't see it no more. There is something there that just fired a missile. It's reasonably close. What about the other ones though? Yeah, there they all are. There are planes everywhere. On my left, on my right. Holy moly. Over there too, you see. Guys are practically over the coast already. I'll be there before I know it. Got a fast mover on my left. Slower mover straight ahead. Which one to go for? Increasing my power again. Planes are both very fast. One of them's launched a missile. There's 3 planes ahead. This is not going to end well for me if they're using missiles. And is that cloud? There was a jet and it just disappeared into the ether up there somewhere. This is screwed, man. these rockets, man. I think that's the F5 or it's one of them. What did that MiG get shot down by? I didn't see anything hit it. It was either a missile from... That was pretty intense. I was probably just about to get a shot on that 21 and then it disintegrated. See. And now I'm going east and I want to go 330. Let's go back to the coast and stuff. Something over there. Is that a chopper? Sir, are you bulletproof? See. Excuse me, sir, are you bulletproof? That one's definitely not bulletproof because it's just a trainer. That's a trainer jet. Which, it's, I say just, but I mean it makes a perfect opponent for the F86 because it has about the same kind of performance characteristics as this state-of-the-art 1950s fighter jet, but a trainer from, you know, the 80s or something like that one is perfect opponent for this one, if it notwithstanding that the MiG-15 is the perfect opponent for this plane, but no one flies it, so if they're not going to fly the 15, at least fly that one, whatever it is. Speaking of MiG-15, that looks like it could be a 15 because it's got that smoke trail. By the way, that was a kill. What could that be? It's got a smoke trail. It's too sharp to be a 15. It looks like an F5. Yeah, it's an F5. Let me shut the power down. Let's just consider the direction we're going as well. We want about, I don't know, well, here's the coast. I'm going to run into that bloody SAM again, is the damn thing. I've got in the back of my mind now the SAMs. If I go anywhere near that aerodrome on the coast, which is just behind me now, I'm going to get shot by a SAM, and that's really going to suck. They shouldn't even have SAMs in this thing. They're just a total, like, I don't know, experience wrecker. Two planes over there. Hashtag SAMs, not even once. Basically, Cold War server, in my opinion, should only be F86 versus MiG-15. There, I said it. Controversial opinion. But, I mean, all you've got is like MiG-15 versus F5. Like, you look at the other servers, like, I think the best server, like, the biggest and best one is Growling Sidewinder, and all that has on it is, like, F16 versus F14. Yay. So we got, like, 10 F16s versus 10 F14s. I mean, for starters, they're both from the same country, so there's that, and, I mean, Big 21. There's another fast mover on the deck there. What's that? It's another 21, or is it an F5? Don't hit the trees. I think we've got an F5 chasing a 21. Let's pick up speed a bit. Or maybe I'll just keep my speed like this. I'm going to run out of fuel otherwise. Hopefully they'll like turn around and stuff. And there's 2 planes up ahead as well. So there's a conga line or something. There's 3 planes in a row. A procession. What's this? That's the 20 F5. I don't know. I need a bit of back trim. And what's this on the deck here? That looks like 21. The hell, man, someone got him before I could get him. F5. Got him with the missile. Cut me lunch, man. Cut me lunch. Cut me 1950s lunch. I wish I could just get in a time machine and go back to 1950 something and drive a Cadillac through the desert. Wouldn't that be cool? Like a convertible. Like, what is it, Route 66 or something? Like, and you go in the desert, maybe it's Nevada or something. Get your kicks on Route 66. I think they didn't. I'm no expert, right? I've never been to America, but didn't they shut down Route 66, or they still have it, but they don't use it anymore, or something? I don't know. Sounds like good fun though. I've totally tuned out of what's going on right here. It's demoralising that the Sabre. It's disheartening that you can get shot down by SAMs, and you're about to shoot down a MiG-21 with your guns and all, and then an F5 steps in and takes the kill. Like that. He got hit. Is he still going though? Someone got him, or something got him. There you go again. I'm chasing a MiG-21 and something else shoots it down. This is dumb. Planes over there. They're probably over the airfield. I'm probably going to get hit by a SAM. Let's just bloody go there anyway. Don't hit the water. Don't get shot down. Plane back there. It's probably an F5. To make an executive decision to go over here. Ah, I see smoke. Alright, that's where the enemy airfield is, I believe. And there's plenty of planes down here though. Go for this one. Yeah. There needs to be just F86 versus MiG-15 with no frickin' SAMs. I'm so close to the enemy airbase right here that I'll probably get intercepted by another MiG as I'm chasing this MiG-21. I can't catch him in a straight line, but if he panics and starts turn fighting, I've got him, provided one of the others don't get me. MiG-21s are tough, but with these 50s you can explode them sometimes. When you get close like this, you've got to deploy brakes. On my tail now. Lost the first one. What to do? Shit! Bloody hell, man. Finally, a MiG-15 shows up, and there was a Sabre on his tail. Too many MiG-21s, too many missiles, too many SAMs. Gone since 85. Potentially, I'll never travel again, at least in a commercial airliner. I might fly myself, but I don't think I'll be catching a commercial airliner again. Too much hassle, not enough value. Sorry, I'll choose a different option. But Sabre's still sitting there. Alright, I'm just gonna go. No missiles, no nothing. Just gonna get straight into it. So basically, why did I crash out there? I looked back expecting to see a 21 and I saw a red plane and I realized it was a 15. And that was a surprise. So I scrutinized it, and then I saw behind it there was another swept wing plane that was a bit bigger. I thought it was a F86. I was like, holy moly. And then by then, and don't forget what I was trying to do all this time was outturn the 21s, and then I realized there was a 15 there, and I was like, shit, I'm in a turn fight with a 15. I need to do something else. And at that point, all my energy was bleeding off. I should have deployed flaps, actually, at that point. And what I was thinking to do was to have a slow competition, a scissoring slow competition with the 15. That's what I needed to do. And that's when I went into the trees. I almost pulled out of it, but just didn't quite have the energy. As I was going in, I was thinking, flaps, flaps, flaps. But it's on the keyboard there somewhere. To find F on the keyboard in that split second, I would have had to ham fist the keyboard Homer Simpson style. Probably would have deployed the gear instead. What is this? There's definitely a lot going on up there. I don't even know which direction I'm pointing at. Need to trim her down a bit. And cut the power. There's definitely a lot going on up here. Fast mover. I go over this ridge, I'm going to get visible. They're all going to see me. So that's going to be a slight problem. Maybe I'll just stay on this side for the time being. This, aha, here we go. Go through here. It's actually blacked out. Okay, great. I've got a black screen right here. And we're back. So it looks like it wasn't a crash. It looks like it was probably a change of map, I guess. How stupid. I'm being a bit critical, but man, that sucked. I guess one more flight. It's getting a bit old though, all this stop-start stuff. At least I can see what looks like 3 MiG-15. Let's go. Excellent visibility. Alright, I'm going to go south, roughly south. That looks like roughly south to me. Excellent visibility. Just a reminder, I'm not going to go south, I'm going to go 90 degrees. How am I supposed to nav in clouds? The Surfer Joe show with Chef Frankie. Kill, 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 lol. Dude, bro. Appreciate the comment. I'm gonna put you in timeout. East, roughly east. You know, I think one of the biggest problems that everybody in the world faces these days, like something that is broadly across humanity right now, is helplessness. Helplessness. Particularly learned helplessness. Helplessness that one, not necessarily you, but that one learns through experience. This is a really bad, debilitating thing. Learned helplessness. You might as well call it, though, false helplessness, because it's not actually a true thing. It's a perception. Learned helplessness. Like there's so many Dr. Fuel types, right? That are happy to help you to navigate through your life. So I'm not going to try and be another Dr. Fuel, but I really want to point out that learned helplessness, it afflicts like billions of people, particularly right now. Learned helplessness, and it's a perception, and I'm going to hit a mountain if I don't bloody. How am I supposed to nav in these clouds? I don't really want to climb. I've got to come down again, don't forget. Oh shit.
Oh, the clouds are great. Oh, have you seen the clouds?
Yeah, yeah, they're great. If there's a mountain though, I'm gonna have to climb. Learned helplessness. Related to lack of morale. Lack of morale. Being demoralized. One thing with people that have high morale, generally speaking, they tend to have better discipline than people with low morale. People with learned helplessness, they tend to not always, but they tend to lack helplessness. You often can't tell that someone else has learned helplessness. It's an internal thing. It's within. It's within. But there are outward signs of it, I think. It could be anything. It could be smoking cigarettes. It could be if a guy starts smoking cigarettes, that could be a sign of learned helplessness. If a woman buys a $900 pair of high heels, that could be a sign of learned helplessness. These kind of reckless behaviors, low morale behaviors. I look around the room that I'm in right now. There's so many gadgets and trinkets and material things to help me survive. There's everything from a coffee cup to a phone to a stack of printer paper and a biro. There's just so many. There's so much stuff here. Compare and contrast human situation with a horse in nature, purely in nature, not a horse on a farm or something, but just like, say 500,000 years ago, there's a horse wandering around in nature, completely wild, never seen a human, nothing, completely wild horse. Apologies in advance if I get shot down. I'm going to keep going east. And the horse is wandering around, and there's an apple tree, and the horse sees the apple tree, and the apple tree has an apple on it, and the horse eats the apple, and the apple has sugar in it. Somehow that apple tree made sugar. Somehow it pulled it up out of the dirt, or it made it, it synthesized it or something. But that apple tree has made sugar. It's produced. It's like a factory that produces sugar. And the horse eats the apple. And the apple is nice and delicious and sugary. And the horse is like, oh yeah, an apple. And you got to ask yourself, what does the tree get out of producing a delicious apple that the horse eats? I mean, it's obvious that the horse gets something out of it, right? But what does the tree get out of it? Nothing? Does the tree just do it for no good reason? Because obviously it's an energy expenditure for the tree. It doesn't just produce one apple, it produces like 150 apples or something. So what I'm seeing is that there's no learned helplessness in this deal. It's a deal, right? The deal between the horse and the apple tree. There's no learned helplessness. There's no smoking. There's no buying $900 high heels. What there is the horse gets a delicious apple with sugar and probably lots of other stuff. Apologies in advance if we get shut down. But what does the tree get? The tree gets something too, just equally as good. Better probably. So the long story short, the apple has seeds in it. The horse eats the apple. The horse then carries the contents of the apple with it. The horse goes for a walk. 500 kilometers later, the horse goes to the bathroom. The horse goes to the bathroom, deposits some manure a couple of 100 k's away from the apple tree. The manure has seeds in it that somehow survive the horse's digestive acid perfectly. and the seeds and the manure get deposited somewhere, and the manure contains nutrients, everything that the seed needs, and the seed has moisture and sunlight, and it grows another apple tree. Voila, that's what the tree wanted. It wanted its seeds picked up by something with legs and carried somewhere else and planted with nutrients. Hey, it's a 15. So the horse definitely gets something and the tree definitely gets something. And it's a win-win situation. It's a win-win. No one is exploiting the other. Well, they're equally exploiting each other. The horse is like, hey man, give us an apple. The tree's like, no worries, just carry my seeds around. Ah shit. There's a 21 up there, but it's chased by a 5. 5's loosed a missile at him. What happened to those two 15s? I gave him a hiding, didn't I? I have to keep my power within the green range or else I'm going to burn out the engine. Yeah, the thing with the horse and the apple, it's like a sublime deal. It's such a good deal. Where did he go? That's that 15. I'd chase the 15, but you know why I did? It's because there's 21s in the area. You got to take out the highest one first. And that really sucks because I do want to dogfight the 15. And I'm just about out of ammo. Like, yeah, it's a sublime, I think the Romans had there's a Latin phrase for it. I think it's quid pro quo. It's something for something. The horse gets something and the tree gets something. Quid pro quo. Something for something. There we go, the F5 got him. I've done well to survive this far. I'll put the power down now. Gonna run out of quid pro quo. Horse gets apple, tree gets seed dispersion and manure. And like we have this knee-jerk reaction. We think of manure as like, yeah, gross. Hang on a tick. That's exactly what the tree needs. I mean, horse manure is exactly what the tree needs. Like exactly what the tree needs. Like exactly what the tree needs. Horse manure is exactly what the tree needs. The tree needs horse manure, and it needs its seed propagated a few hundred k's away, and the horse does that perfectly. It's such a sublime deal. I'm getting shot at by flak. Oh no, got something on my tail. Bingo! The horse and the apple prevails. So, like, the thing with learned helplessness is a lot of people that have it, they've never heard of it. And when I say a lot of people that have it, just about everyone has it from time to time. Billions of people, right, are subject to the same life experience to a certain extent. The number one thing I think that learned helplessness does is it stops people from doing productive things that help them. It's a kind of a notion that one can't positively affect their own circumstance by doing something like eating an apple or something as simple as that, I guess. But yeah, I think it contrasts marvelously, the horse and the apple. The apple tree gets what it wants. I used flaps in that dogfight, quite successful. The apple tree gets what it wants, the horse gets what it wants. It's amazing, like, they both get what they want and nobody loses. It's sublime. And you know what? That apple tree doesn't have a PhD. That apple tree, somehow it managed to produce sugar from thin air, and it doesn't have a university degree. It's pretty good, huh? Like, it just does it. It just does its thing perfectly. Doesn't need a cup of coffee, doesn't need a biro, doesn't need a stack of printer paper. That tree is almost better than a human. Like, the tree doesn't need any education. It just does its thing. And it has this sublime cooperative relationship with the horse. Same the horse. He didn't have a PhD in, I don't know what, farming. And there's a Sam. Haha, shit. Sam can see through clouds. I better get out of here. Sam missed me because I was too close, but I'm basically toast now. I've got to find my base. I'm going to run out of fuel. A quick glance at the fuel gauge. I've got 1,000 pounds left. That's enough, but that means it's time to return to base. The horse doesn't have a PhD in agriculture. The apple doesn't have a PhD in sugar production. They just do their thing. They just do their thing. Probably far away enough from that base. Alright, so I got here by heading east, so to get out of here I should head west. As much as I think I killed that 15, it just kind of exploded in front of me, and I have no way of telling whether I killed it or the missile from a F5. I guess there's a way you can look in the lobby or something, you can look at how many kills you got. That might be the way to go. If it says 0, obviously I didn't get the 15. If it says 1, I probably did. Or 2 or 3. Alright, heading west now, staying low. Hopefully I don't get hit by a dreaded Sam. I don't know about you guys, but that example I gave of the horse and the apple, there's many more. There's even like the cat and the mouse, the fox and the rabbit, you name it. Anything that you can observe in nature has that sublime deal between the creatures. It's such a perfect deal. It may not resonate at all with you, but to me it's profound. Like mind-blowingly profound. Even I doubt I'll get to my base, who knows. Even you might say, well, what about the mouse? Like the individual mouse probably doesn't enjoy being eaten by the cat. The rabbit doesn't enjoy being eaten by the fox. But man, there's so many rabbits and there's less foxes, right? And if there weren't any rabbits at all, there wouldn't be any foxes. So there needs to be some rabbits for there to be some foxes. And there needs to be some grass for the rabbits to eat for there to be rabbits. And there needs to be some soil and some sun for the grass to exist. So it's this whole kind of thing, one thing needs another. Right back to humble things such as the dirt under your toes. It's all needed. Definitely the trees and the plants need humble dirt. They need it. Absolutely need it. So if there were, so what do mice eat? For the sake of the example, they eat wheat, and what's wheat? It's a seed. What kind of a seed? It's a grass seed. Wheat is a seed that comes from a species of grass, wheatgrass. So if there were no cats and there were just mice and wheatgrass, at some point all the mice would proliferate and eat all of the seeds, all of the wheatgrass. Specifically, they'd eat all the seeds. 100% of the seeds would be eaten by the mice. You'd have a huge boom in mice population and not a single wheat seed left. And then the winter comes, the wheat plants die. Then the spring comes, and normally there'd be seeds in the soil from the wheat plants. And normally those seeds would get the sun and the rain and everything and the temperature, because you're out of winter now. And they'd spring up, and you'd have heaps of wheat, grass everywhere. But you wouldn't have that if all the mice ate every single seed of wheat. So there's some kind of upper cap that nature seems to always put there in the population of mice that stops them from completely eating everything that they eat. And that's, in this example, cats. And so the cats do a service to the mice, in a sense. They help them to perpetuate by at least eating some of them. The same thing goes with eagles. Eagles eat mice, right? An interesting thing, you'll see that territorial instinct is very strong in animals. Look at, even in cats, particularly cats and eagles. It's been observed, even since the time of the Romans. There was a Roman called Pliny. He wrote lots of letters to his friends. He was a lawyer, very rich. He wrote books and letters and stuff. And Pliny wrote in one of his texts that he had observed eagles, young eagles from the same nest or something, spreading out and going to different areas. And he reasoned correctly. It's because if you have a density of eagles in a certain area, there's not enough food to sustain them all, so they spread out and they go to different territories. If there's not enough territory, I guess they fight. But it's an interesting way to look at it, that there is some kind of there's some kind of thing going on in nature that's like a sublime quid pro quo. There's that Latin again, quid pro quo, something for something. Even the cat somehow does a service to the mouse. Do you see what I'm saying there? And what happens if the cats proliferate on the mice and eat all of the mice. Gotta be honest with you, I don't know where I am. I remember a forest when I took off. Do I have a homing beacon or anything? There's got to be something. I don't know. I'm too engrossed in my mice monologue. Let's just get above these clouds. Yeah, what happens? So you've got these mice eating all the wheat, and you've got some cats that eat some mice. So what happens if all the cats eat all the mice? I imagine you'd get a proliferation in cat numbers. The level of food that they have access to sustains them in that territory. So if there's no more mice in that given territory, then the cats would either perish or they would travel further afield. Basically they'd make a decision, they'd go, there's no food here, I've got to go elsewhere. So they'd go to a different territory and look for food there. And if they found it, good, they'd continue. So this is nature, right? And then jump back and compare and contrast it to a guy like chain smoking cigarettes because he has learned helplessness, or a woman buying $900 high heel shoes because she has learned helplessness. I just think there's a real contrast there. Yeah. And perhaps, I don't know, just getting out in nature, going for a walk in the park, something as simple as that can be beneficial, particularly in bare feet. If you have a garden at home, or if you want to go to the beach or something, take your damn shoes off, take your socks off, get your toes in the sand, connect with nature. One other thing I'd like to say, and that is that humans are part of nature. There's kind of a notion these days that we're separate from nature. Honestly, everything in existence is part of nature, including humans. The dirt, the soil, the rocks, the things that don't live in that category, that's part of nature. And it's very important, it provides the structure of our reality. What would the plants and animals do without rocks and dirt? They'd have nothing to provide a platform for them to exist on. Rocks and dirt, part of nature. Animals, part of nature. Humans, definitely part of nature. It's worth mentioning because people tend to regard themselves as separate or different from nature. We're in it. We're it. We are it. We're nature. That there, the sun, that's nature. The stars at night, that's nature. And humans definitely are nature as well. So, reconnect with nature. Get out of the cubicle. Turn off the screen. Put your toes in the soil. Go for a walk in the fresh air. And so ends my monologue on the horse and the apple tree. I gotta land somehow. Hey, look at that, there's a plane. It's probably an F-14, that's my gut feeling. It's pretty dirty though. Gonna catch him riding dirty. Can't be an F-14, its exhaust's too dirty. What could it be? Wonder if it's a... I got no fuel left. I got like 50 pounds of fuel. Check this out. What is that? Is that a Harrier? Could be an F5. Yeah, it's an F5. Alright, last ditch serious attempt to find somewhere to land. There probably is a direction finder in here. I've never like I've never seen it or used. You probably have to tune it up and everything. I can't be bothered. Some epic dogfights there. Red completed the objectives, red wins. Wow, I had a lot more ammo left than I thought. Nothing but forest down there. All those horses and all those apple trees. Can't see none. Got a fair bit of damage there, wouldn't it? Hey, my flap's missing or it's down. Can't quite see that side. I think the flap is missing. I'm not going to deploy flaps if I land though, because I'll go asymmetric. There's practically no way of, unless the clouds clear, I guess just head towards this town. My fuel's going to run out in about 10 seconds. I need a direction finder. In this kind of cloud, it's essential to have some kind of direction finder. Can you land on a road? That road looks a bit twisty. I think that's the end. Well, I think that's the first time that I've survived a whole map full of combat. .7. It's the very latest one, so I guess it's 2.7. I reckon this is new clouds or something because it looks pretty good. I heard some thing about new clouds. I guess that was it. It looked alright. Rocks and dirt, part of life. Building blocks for life. We'd be in trouble if we didn't have some kind of structure there. Carbon dioxide. Isn't that's what we exhale, right? And that's what plants breathe or something. Symbiosis. Well, I think I'm all sabred out. That was reasonably good, I guess. I mean, the last map was exceptional. That's like awesome dogfighting and stuff. But yeah, I wish it was just MiG-15 versus F86 and no SAMs, no surface-to-air missiles. It'd be so much better. And man, I should try and find out how the direction finder works. Should I get the VKB Gladiator or the Thrustmaster T16000? I reckon get the Gladiator if you can get hold of it. It took me literally months to get mine, but if you can get hold of one in a timely fashion or you're prepared to wait, get a VKB. It's pretty good, and according to my internet research, it has more sensors than the Thrustmaster. I think the Thrustmaster T16000 is called that because it's 16-bit or something, or 16 megabyte or some kind of thing. That refers to the sensor depth or saturation, but the VKB is 32-bit compared to the Thrustmaster's 16-bit, something like that. So apparently it's more precise. It seems really good, so I recommend the VKB. Guys, I'm going to end this particular stream. I might come back with an IL-2 stream, not too sure. Thanks for coming along. Check out my merch. You can buy t-shirts and sweaters on Amazon and Teespring with aeroplanes on them. And hopefully see you tomorrow, and enjoy your weekend. Cheers.